We need a Yu Yu Hakusho remake. Look, as many of you know, Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time. I've watched that anime so many times that I've then memorized some of the monologues. Like, remember that speech Kuwabara gave during the last match of the Dark Tournament? I got that speech on lock. But I digress. As much as I've watched Yu Yu Hakusho, I've always been jealous of its little brother Hunter x Hunter. That anime got the best treatment ever with the whole 2011 remake, with an animation budget that made no sense. And you know what? After Hunter x Hunter laid its mark on the world, I was one of those hopeful weebs waiting, praying that Yoshihiro Togashi was gonna give Yu Yu Hakusho the same treatment. But alas, I'm still here waiting for my favorite anime of all time to get the respect it deserves. So today, let's talk about why Yu Yu Hakusho deserves a remake. Okay, so if you don't know, Yu Yu Hakusho follows the story of Yusuke Urameshi. He's this rowdy-ass kid who skips school and beats dog shit out the poor souls who try to step to him. One of these poor souls being his friend Kuwabara. So in the first episode, Yusuke dies while trying to save a kid from getting hit by a car, straight DBZ style. But it turns out that the spirit world has other plans for him. Instead of staying dead, he survived and is given the role of spirit detective. It's his job to keep the human world safe from the supernatural threats from demon world. And from there, the story just gets better. But this is my problem. If I were to go to a modern anime lover who's been spoiled by anime like the Hunter x Hunter remake, for example, and tell him to watch Yu Yu Hakusho, they probably wouldn't. Why? Because regardless of how amazing I think this anime is, it's still old. It came out in the 90s, so visually, it's fighting a losing battle against the more colorful anime out today. Like, I know you guys have seen Demon Slayer. How could someone who just finished watching that go to this just because I say it's good? And this is not just me making assumptions, I'm speaking from experience. I've tried on countless occasions to get friends or even family into Yu Yu Hakusho, but every time I hit with the same excuse. But it's so old though. Why do the characters look like that? If Yusuke ain't a planet buster, I don't like it. And for me, that sucks. Not just because Yu Yu Hakusho is my freaking jam, but because so many people are losing out on this amazing anime just because of visuals. And some of these anime that have these amazing visuals lack substance without it. And there's nothing wrong with an anime that relies on a dynamic aesthetic. I mean, Studio Trigger is known for making shit that makes no sense, but looks dope as fuck. All I'm saying is there's more to anime than just giving us a visual boner. But you're probably watching thinking, don't you? You keep on talking about how Yu Yu Hakusho is that shit. But how is it that shit? What makes it so good? Well, people, Yu Yu Hakusho may be fighting a losing battle on the visual side, but I'm telling you, it's getting straight W's everywhere else. From the characters to the action to the story, except for the last arc, let's be real, this anime almost hits perfection. In Yu Yu Hakusho, you'll find the realest bunch of characters you'll ever see in an anime. Starting with the squad, Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama, these guys are not your regular run-of-the-mill shonen group. In most shonen, the hero team is usually filled with a bunch of supporting characters whose purpose is to push the main character's story forward. They have personality, yeah, but the story will easily drop them to give the main character some shine. However, in Yu Yu Hakusho's case, you have a squad of pretty much 4 main characters. Yusuke's the hot-headed punk who's the first to start dishing out them spirit hands. Kuwabara's that ride or die that sucks, but you know he's trying. Hiei's the OG edgelord who makes all other edgelords look soft. And Kurama's a genius pretty boy who you don't truly learn to respect until you're older. These guys have their own ideals and reasons for doing what they do. And it's these differences that make their team so relatable. Like, just watching these guys do their thing together reminds me of me and my boys. They roast each other, they talk that hot shit to anyone who steps to them, and at the end of the day, it's straight smoke if you fuck with them. And they don't start out like this. At first, these guys are pretty indifferent towards each other. Hell, their first mission together almost goes up in flames when Hiei contemplates betraying them. But through multiple ordeals, they slowly form something like a brotherhood. A brotherhood of the smoke. And as someone with a squad full of real ones like them, I can relate. And these are just the 4 main characters. There are still the supporting characters like Koenma, Yusuke's girlfriend Keiko, and of course, the greatest shonen master next to Master Roshi, Genkai. Just like the main characters, they each bring something different to the table. They're not just there to push Yusuke forward, they have their own stories to follow. And all these mini arcs don't interrupt the main story. They complement it beautifully. So it's like you're getting character development out the ass from multiple different places. And bruh, the villains in this anime, the only one that I really have to talk about is Toguro. This dude is the embodiment of this isn't even my final form. He's an elaborate villain that you, as a viewer, won't help but like. The dude is an evil bastard, there's no doubt about it, but both how he's presented, along with his backstory, reveals a much more complex character underneath all that muscle. However, while being complex, he still leaves fear in you that I feel like every good anime villain should. He makes you feel hopeless. He makes you wonder whether or not our heroes will actually survive the ordeal they've been put in. And the way the anime shows that fear is just genius. Unlike anime today where killing off random important characters is used to draw people in, I'm looking at you, Attack on Titan, the fear Toguro leaves comes from his mere presence. Like, without spoiling too much, during the beginning of the Dark Tournament arc, Toguro shows off his immense power to Yusuke by completely leveling a parking lot. Then he leaves by telling Yusuke that if he doesn't see him with the hands of the Dark Tournament, then he will kill everyone that he loves. In the scene that follows, Yusuke walls in despair, as the reality sets in that he may not make it out the situation. Before this, Yusuke would just mean mug his opponents with confidence and whoop their ass, even if they were stronger than him. Up to this point, Yusuke never came off so vulnerable, and that despair pushed him to reach levels that he never dreamed of. That's fear. That's how you make an anime villain flex. That's how you get the audience scared of a character. People, y'all don't understand. When I watched that scene, I thought Toguro was coming for my ass. To this day, that scene still gives me chills. But let me stop right here because honestly, my boy Toguro deserves his own video. So yeah, the characters in Yu Yu Hakusho, pretty fucking superb. But what about the action? Well, while I did say the show is not the best looking visually, that's mostly because of the old school look it has. When you look at the pure animations, especially in a lot of these fights, Yu Yu Hakusho is on pretty good footing. The majority of the fights are fan-freaking-tastic. And then you have special fights like Hiei vs. Bui, where the animators went all out to make it as dynamic as possible. And one major thing that I very much appreciate about the animations is how they are used to further display each character's personality. It's the small things, like Yusuke kissing his teeth when some dumb shit happens, or Kuwabara's goofy ass movements whenever he gets hyped. A fellow Yu Yu Hakusho fan by the name of Super Eyepatch Wolf goes more in depth with this in his video why you should watch Yu Yu Hakusho, which you guys should watch right after this. But yeah, don't get it twisted. While the character designs and the colors may look old, that doesn't stop this anime from delivering some of the best animations I've ever seen. So imagine if they took this and gave it the Hunter x Hunter treatment. And then there is a story, which goes hand in hand with the cast of characters, to be honest. By that, I mean that the characters are the driving force of the story. Yes, each arc has a base plot, but what makes the plot so enticing are the characters. You don't just watch the Dark Tournament arc for the Dark Tournament, you watch it to see Team Urameshi and Team Toguro throw them hands in the final battle. And because the characters are the driving force, it makes it almost impossible to not get emotionally invested in the story. You want to see Yusuke whoop some ass and save his friends. You want everyone to be happy in the end. You want Kuwabara to finally be useful and take someone out without help. Bottom line is, the story is an emotional trip thanks to all the dope ass characters that take part in it. And as someone who has watched a pretty good amount of anime, I can see that the emotions I felt and still feel when I watch Yu Yu Hakusho are way beyond the emotions I felt when watching some other shonen. I can't say all shonen because there are some out there that made me cry grown man tears. Here, you're not getting a story where friendship and a bunch of punches save the day. Nah, here, you're getting something much more than that. And with it being as good as it is on its own, think about how amazing it could be in remake form. And the biggest thing here is that Yu Yu Hakusho is done. It's a complete anime. So unlike Hiatus, if this remake were to happen, it'd be a complete experience. You just have to wait for the episodes to get animated. No hate to Hunter x Hunter though, even though the manga is still going on, I was still very content with the anime ending. I still live that fuck Jing lifestyle though because he's a terrible father. So cool, we've gone over why I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho is straight fire. But how should this remake work? Should there be any changes? At first, I thought some changes would be a good idea. I was thinking about FF7 Remake and how they completely changed the original game story to make it a very interesting trip for both new and old comers. And I'm not gonna lie, I was looking for a reason to exclude the last arc since I wasn't a big fan of it. However, this is anime, not a video game. I think this remake should stay as close to the source material as possible. Plus, without the last arc, the ending wouldn't make sense, and that ending was so good. I'd also need the opening to stay exactly the same. No remix, nothing. Unless it's by Amelie, because she has a dope edition of it on Spotify that's fucking fire. It should definitely be produced by Madhouse, the same studio who produced the Hunter x Hunter remake, along with another god tier anime you guys should check out, Hajime no Ippo. I don't know what kind of budget these guys had to make both those anime look clean as shit, but I'm gonna need them to amass the same budget for the Yu Yu Hakusho remake. And the most important thing is that the remake gets dubbed immediately, using the same cast as the original Yu Yu Hakusho. To this day, I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho has the best English dub. Better than DBZ, better than Samurai Champloo, and yes, even better than Cowboy Bebop. Justin Cook killed it as Yusuke. And to this day, I don't think there's a man on earth who could do a better Kuwabara than Chris Sabat. And I'm not just saying that because he also voices Vegeta. So why does Yu Yu Hakusho deserve a remake? Honestly, because it's a fire-ass complete anime that deserves some love from the newer anime lovers who think Demon Slayer is somehow the best anime of all time. We'll get into this later, but just know, I have opinions on Demon Slayer. But the characters in Yu Yu Hakusho are fire, the story is lit, and when it wants to, the show looks dope as hell. But what do you guys think? Does Yu Yu Hakusho deserve the Hunter x Hunter treatment? Drop your opinions in the comments below. And if this video made you want to try out Yu Yu Hakusho even though it's from the 90s, dope, check it out. The English dub is on the Funimation channel and on Hulu, so have fun with that. And before I go on my end screen spiel, I just want to say this. Guys, just give older anime a try. I understand it may not look as good as some of the newer anime like My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan, but trust me, it is worth it. There are so many dope classics out there that I feel like every anime lover has a responsibility to watch. Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Yu Yu Hakusho, the original Dragon Ball. There are a bunch of anime that have inspired the anime that you watch today that I feel like if you watch now, you would very much enjoy. All right, so with that being said, end slate. All right, y'all, thanks so much for watching this new Let's Talk on Yu Yu Hakusho. I've been waiting to do a video on Yu Yu Hakusho for the longest. I'm just happy I finally got to do it. I dead wrote my emotions to the script. It felt good writing the script. It felt good recording it. It just feels, the video feels right. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels right. Drop some other anime that I should talk about in the comments below. I'm thinking about Kengan Ashura, Beastars, someone mentioned Kenichi. I also want to talk about Kenichi, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share with your friends who like Yu Yu Hakusho or you feel like should watch Yu Yu Hakusho. And if you want to hear me talk about more gaming and anime while dropping some comedy in there, go ahead and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification button, because if you don't, you won't get notified when I post new videos. It's like a thing now. Like, it's actually becoming a problem. I don't know what YouTube is doing, but yeah. If you want to get notified, hit that bell. If not, you don't have to. Check out the Black Lives Matter link in the description below and support any way you can. Check out my Patreon. Shout out to all my dope patrons who make videos like this possible with their very kind donations. So with that being said, I am off this. So as usual, be easy, stay lit, take care, Black Lives Matter, stay healthy, and remember, you can do whatever the fuck you put your mind to. All it takes is practice and time. Spirit Gun!